to the latest episode of the Middle Eight podcast.
Wagwan.
So for the first time, as people watching for the first time, this is a podcast by three amazing individuals, may I say, within the music industries at various levels over a various number of years, chatting about music primarily, the gossip on the streets, what Twitter's chatting about, bants and all the in-betweens. So my name is Ricardo Williams.
Bang, bang, bang.
Revere.
Come on, there, bro.
That's my new intro. That's my new intro.
You got to remember it, you know.
Revere. Dead.
And I'm Jermaine Riley, guys. How you doing?
Boom, boom. So remember to like, follow, subscribe, the bell ting, all of that. What you man saying anyway?
The belting. I love that.
There's a lot to say at the beginning. The script is long, man, for YouTube.
Listen.
So yeah, I get it. I'm cool, bro.
Good, man. So Cherry, how are you, man?
I'm great. I'm feeling inspired, and I'm feeling like the end is nigh.
The end is near. The end of the pandemic.
Nah, listen. It's just the beginning. We're gonna get COVID-20. Watch.
All right.
Oh gosh,
yeah,
man.
You don't hear them talking about new variants and the variants.
You're just raining
metamorphosizing and all of that. No, man.
Stop raining on my parade.
I'm happy for you, Cherry. We are looking like we're coming out of COVID-19, but COVID-20 is coming, fam. This all new variants, and it's just like one never-ending story.
Fantastic.
But anyway, the streets have been talking.
What a chat about? What am I chat about?
So have you man seen the 3 million lawsuit against?
Just heard about it.
Mad,
Please, I just heard about it. Please inform the people them about the things, because we actually Cherry and I have worked with the producer in question, and you know, these types of occasions, you kind of, you know, question a person's character. No, you don't. I'm not questioning what's character. I'm just obviously inform the people, because no judgment here, because we're all
basically her song, Focus,
the big tune.
The one of her biggest tunes. Well, maybe not record sales wise, but definitely recognizable. People know her for that song. Yeah, and I think it definitely changed the sound of R&B for a while. Do you know what I mean? Just how like Bryson did as well. But yeah, that tune, Focus. DJ Camper, who is a well-renowned producer.
Amazing producer.
Featured heavily on hers EPs, and he's done some of the new stuff for Brandy as well, right?
Yes,
as well as some many more artists. He's a big,
as well as Dora Martin and that stuff.
Come on. Yeah, he's a big time producer. Anyway, he's gone on his live, and it's a bit of a Q&A. They're asking him about who he's worked with, songs that he's worked on, and obviously the conversation now has come on to that song in question, Focus. And so in the heat of the moment, I would say, he snitched on himself, and basically he's just been like, he was outlaying the story of how the song came about. So he's like, they've got this inspiration from this particular guy. And when I heard it, I just kind of really loved the vibe. So I kind of, it was my inspiration. I slowed it down and made it kind of my own thing. So I think on the surface, everyone's like, that's pretty normal, because like they say, everything's a remix, isn't it? Everybody has some
there's nothing new under the sun and stuff.
Well, this is it. And there's always going to be some sort of influence from something, someone. But obviously, you're on the internet, innit? So he's mentioned the guy's name. Everyone's gone and checked out my
Why did he mention the name, though, bro? Just say you're inspired, bro, by the team.
So this is what happened. And my man, everyone's gone now. And there's a clip of the original what do you call it, composer,
Audio, visual.
literally just literally playing the chords, like the chord structure, everything, like to
Oh
the
no.
T. And so obviously now it's resulted in a lawsuit, $3 million lawsuit.
Here's the thing, yeah. You're not going to not press go on a lawsuit when my girl's just done Super Bowl, bruv.
But this is it.
You're just not gonna like be like, oh, it was a long time ago. No, she's definitely out here. Definitely hasn't even released her first official album yet.
Right.
But she's at the stratosphere, like, and I feel like, you know, this is the pitfalls that we fall in because everyone's very expressive about just in this time because, you know, it's a pandemic and all the rest of it. So things like Clubhouse, things like IG Live, everyone's just talking, and things like us even having a podcast. I fear every single day, every single time we complete a podcast, I'm thinking, what did I say that's gonna fuck me up? Right. In the past 2 hours. Like, I'm just always cautious of that. And it's like when you kind of speak freely, you can, in this day and age with, you know, like I said, with Clubhouse and people just talking off the cuff, and it's not like back in the day when everyone's held some kind of mystique about their process. And,
right.
You know, you had to wait for a documentary to come out. Like, we live in a day and age where you're seeing a process and everyone wants to talk. But as you can see, that's not always a good idea.
It's not. You know what I feel like? I feel like my man, and I'll put his name in the description and the link so everyone can see. But I feel like my man knew from time, but he just didn't have any evidence. Yeah, he had no evidence.
Yeah. Because actually, people would be like, oh, you're begging it, like you're trying to. Right. You get what I'm saying? Like timeline wise,
no real
like
proof.
There's no solid like that to me. Listen to me. If that happened to me, if someone brought out I don't know, a remake of Single or Key to the City or something like that, and I was like, and then like years into their multi-million-dollar success, they say, yeah, Jermaine Rowley really inspired. It's like I just took like the verse structure, and you know, I wrote the hook, and then you get me, like, and I'm seeing all the bits and pieces. I'm like, thank you, Jesus, because I'm about to sue his bum. You get me, like, because I'm about to get out of this poverty right now. Like, I would say, yes, debit on file, screen recorded, everything. Yeah, so I don't blame the guy necessarily. Obviously,
like, obviously the headlines are pulling up her about it, and it's focused on her. But who's at fault? Like, where's the line? Where's the line?
The line is seeing something that you admire, and either not. The line is at the beginning of the creation of the thing that is teeth in situation. You get me? Like, right. I'm inspired by so many different things. And even now, like, I'm brainstorming, you know, previewed information. I'm brainstorming a comic book, right? And as I'm seeing different things, that we live in this world with superheroes and stuff like that now, I have to be very conscious of what I name things, and whether it's too similar to things, whether it sounds like it's a parody of something else. Like, even with songwriting, we know, like, it's crazy. But one of the maddest things to me has always been, and I'm not even sure if people clock it, but you see Craig David's Slicker Than Your Average. The verse melody is the same melody as Faith Evans' You Gets No Love. Da, 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 da. It's the same melody. But I don't know if...
I can't think about the verses of Slicker Than Your Average right now.
That is the verse melody.
Oh,
That's
shame.
mad.
Go on.
So like when you do stuff like that, sometimes you don't know where the inspiration comes from, and it's subconscious. There's a lot of things that I've done, and it's like, oh, I didn't even realize. Which is why, you know, in the interview, sorry, I'm going off on many different tangents. In the interview that we saw with Angel, he was like, I don't like to listen to things because I might be subconsciously influenced. When I'm doing my thing. So that can happen, but at the same time, when you know something, if I know, like, cool, if I've got a character and he's wearing a suit of armor, there's certain things and there's certain superhero tropes that I can't use because of Iron Man and Cyborg and stuff like that. Do you get me? I can obviously, like we already said, there's nothing new under the sun. So you can obviously take inspiration for stuff, and even in my research, it's like I discovered that Stan Lee was inspired to make Fantastic Four after he saw the Justice League and stuff like that. And you make your, you know, you have the strong guy, you have the female, you have the scientist guy. You get me? So you can have things, you can be inspired in that way, but you have to switch up some way, shape or form. And I've even had conversations with producers where it's like, okay, how do I get away with this? Because I literally want to use what I'm inspired by. Do I what's the loopholes? Do I replay it? Do I, you know, just, I wouldn't see a problem in reaching out to the person, or even saying, crediting them, knowing that your publishing is going to be a bit yam out, like, you know, being a co-collaborator on the thing, then the guy wouldn't have nothing to say, and everyone can just rejoice in their riches like years later, and you wouldn't be getting sued now. Do you get me? If you just went to mine and said, bro, this is so sick, I'm working on this, on a project with this artist, and she's got a situation, and I really love the cause that you've done. Would you mind if I'd done this? Or send it to the guy and be like, what do you like? I know this is based on what your competition is, and blah, blah. Do you get me? Like, do you get me? Like, what was stopping Campbell from doing that? And this is not judging him, because there's bare producers that literally say, cool, running with that, especially in this age of like sampling old everything. 90s songs. So it is very techie, but I feel like there's ways you can not shoot yourself in the foot and people won't come for you later on down the line. And I feel like if you're gonna mention it on your live, bro, you might as well have just credited him as co-producer of the team. So he wouldn't have nothing to say about it. Like the smallest input from people, I just feel that natural inkling to credit them on my project. There's people that I've sampled audio-wise that I've just sampled their audio. Like,
and you know what? Go on.
And I will just say featuring blah blah. Even if they didn't have nothing to, like, they didn't even know it was going to be a thing.
Yeah. Because I feel like for the guy on the receiving end, he probably feels like the fact that it's been released, he wasn't credited, and like,
that's it.
And then later on you're saying, oh, this is where I got that out, this is where I got the idea from. It's like, it almost feels like super cheeky, like I got away with it.
You're taking the piss. Yeah, you're taking the piss now.
Yeah.
Because you're not even saying, oh, great minds think alike. Because them ones is like annoying, isn't it? When you're like, oh, that sounds just like, but there's no way up. And I know there's bare stuff that I've done that people have seen. Like, fact of the matter is, when JLS come up with all the 3 colors, I know they took that from Fundamental. Do you get me? Like when they come up with the red, yellow, blue, green, or whatever, that was Fundamental. That was Fundamental's thing. Like, that was Fundamental's thing. Obviously, I speak to Aston as well, so that's something that I think I even said it to him. I can't remember if I've even said it to him.
Shots.
But that's something that they saw, and even if they didn't, even if it wasn't them, whatever label that they were signed to, so, oh, they're not major, they're doing their thing on an underground tip. And it's been happening for years, isn't it? It's happened to all like great artists get. When they're on a lower level, the higher people say, okay, cool, I'm taking that, blah, blah, blah. Like, and you just have to roll with the punches. And we just had to accept that they just took that motif and ran with it, and they're on a massive platform that's going to make it look like we took their thing. When, bruv, we had the primary colors from the very first video. The whole MySpace was colored like that.
It's not for true.
Like,
no,
we
100%, 100. But they, I think one or two of them have been quite open about that though.
Really?
Well,
and this is it.
Personally, I remember like one of the members that I used to talk to quite a lot, and they were very vocal about being inspired by you guys. Very vocal.
Yeah.
In the beginning.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
In the beginning.
But what's the process from the beginning of when your name was different and everything was different, and then you get into that, you know,
label situation,
significantly more commercial thing, and then you reach back and say, actually, that was quite good. I'm going to take that from these broke niggas. Do you get me? Like,
do you remember how we felt about the other duo as well?
Which other duo?
They saw.
Talk up the things. Which other duo?
Big Sean and Janae saw Dora Martin and said, listen, I know we're sleeping together.
Yeah, nah. This is the one today.
Because why did she have orange hair? No, sorry.
And you see how she's rocking the red ting? Find the orange ting. And we're gonna do some left alternative vibe. We're gonna sit in the back of the car, just like they're sitting in the back of the car on their Skyline video. And we're gonna, we're gonna just be inspired by doing this. We're just gonna do this right now.
I never clocked that, you know.
The joke is, Ricardo, we didn't clock it. Somebody sent it to us and was like, yo, what's going on here? And we were like, what?
And the thing that you say to yourself, oh, there's no way, that can be, argued a great minds think alike. But when you think to yourself, our videos and stuff was on
too many similarities.
And we were fully exposed to America. We was opening for different people, and America was open to the brand and what we were doing, and nothing before that. Like, okay, coincidentally, after all these years, something's going to come out that's so similar imagery wise,
and you want to just was a song on that project called London's Burning.
Mad.
Oh, is it?
This I'm saying, you can't. You're looking over here.
This is mad.
Going like this.
This is mad.
Exactly. Obviously, Ricardo, and obviously Jermaine, that when you go there, they're obsessed with UK.
100%.
Obsessed.
100%.
Last year, there was some and they were just like, some of the producers that I was working with, just like, no, but you lot have got the ting. Like, you lot have got it. You lot are it. And I'm just like, what? We were all life saying that you man are it. And like,
this is why I'm here. That's why I'm here right now. Do you know what I mean? Right. I'm in LA. Right. That's mad.
It's mad. But it's gonna happen to it happens to everyone at some point. And it's always when you come out with your most prolific ting.
Right.
When you think to yourself, and it's working consistently for a bit too long, and there's people like, yeah, we'll just take that because they're trickling, but they haven't blown. So let's just teeth that.
Do you know what though? With the whole Camper and her situation, I do get the other side of it. I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying it's right, but I have been in situations where, like, when you have to start to add people into the whole like process of things, and especially when it's a moving train, it does sometimes get long. Waiting for a man to agree that I'll have 10% or 5% publishing, or you can run that, or sometimes it gets long to the point, like, especially if you've got release dates in sight and your things are set, it's hard sometimes just being like, if I let this man know now,
he might shake my ting. Yeah,
whole thing, man.
Can I say, like, I remember I got I fasted myself and did an interlude based on I don't know if anyone's familiar with Naomi Parchment, but she's an amazing gospel singer.
Yeah.
And she does these random, very jazzy, gospely, like freestyle songwriting things on her Instagram.
Yeah.
And she done one, and I heard it and I was like, nah, this is the foundation of a song. So I took the audio, put it at the beginning of an interlude for my album, and wrote and had my producer go off of what she played and produce a whole beat to the thing. And I wrote a whole like verse and made sure what she done was the chorus to my thing. So it was like an interlude and it would feature her, right?
Yeah.
But please believe that I was nervous to then message her and be like, hey, this is what I've done.
Just
please
say
approve
yes,
it,
please.
because I think it's fire. I spent all this time and energy. And if she said, nah, sorry.
It's chop out. That's it. It's lock up.
Dead.
Yeah, man.
So you do run the risk of getting, so far only for someone to be like, no, to do a Prince on you and be like, no, I'm not approving it, I'm not clearing it. Like, it's your business. I told you to fast up yourself and stop on my thing.
This is it. And you know what? And it's funny because I guess we don't talk about this side of music a lot, especially as artists. We just do what we're doing in it. We make tunes, we do the videos and whatever, we do the promo. But no one really gets to see about the ins and outs of all the nitty-gritty parts of it, like agreeing publishing splits and, do you know what I mean, who's contributed to what and who gets points and rare tear. So it's a good conversation to have. Maybe one for another time, but yeah, man, it's not as straightforward as people think it is. You know what? I've written a song to a specific beat, and didn't use that beat anymore, and used it for another and used it on another beat. But the alarm bells in me was like, you know what? I've got to credit the original beat person because it was the inspiration in that beat that made me write that song. So I've done mad things like that and given people publishing just because actually I wrote to your song, but I didn't use your song. I just took my song and lifted it because of those situations where you just know actually they might just turn around and be like, nah, sorry, and then you can't use your song. That's it.
And there's and to be fair, there's bare of my tunes, especially during the whole refix phenomenon era that we all kind of went through. Like there's bare songs that you're there's stuff on official stuff that I've released that I've used the melody from that song from a massive tune. But because it's so R&B, Uno can't even recognize that the melody's been taken and it's got all these, and it's another thing of like, I'm not big enough. Do you get me? Like if I blew overnight, trust me, people will be doing their research, skimming through the archives and being like, cool, I'm taking that. Man took my thing from this. You get me? Like, and my whole catalog would be compromised. So it's like, it's a fine line, and music is so shit right now. Just in terms of the infrastructure of the industry, like you're barely making a red cent from it.
True.
So for you to slice that red cent pie, it's
peak, man.
It's mad. It's absolutely mad. Yeah, it's mad.
It is, man. It is. Well, I wish them all the luck.
I know
in coming to
3 million.
some agreement. Then you know what? I think what the deal's probably going to be some sort of credits and back pay. They're going to settle out, and he's going to get some money in the publishing, and then moving forward, he'll get publishing and he'll get a little payout. But yeah, same thing happened with Rihanna the other day, innit? And Tracy Chapman, and yeah, man, that was another big thing. So it happens all the time. It's not nothing new. But it's just something I think artists, producers definitely have to be a bit more wise about, especially like you said, Jermaine, with this new kind of era of sampling 90s R&B. The beats at the moment, they're not even like, it's not even like people are actually
trying to be subtle.
It's the sample and it's the melody of the whole song.
They just take the thing, like dash it underwater. Throw and
that shit underwater.
bruv, they do the Drake thing and just go on the thing, and then we're good. We're good to go. Let me just do my little Summer Walker melody over it. Cool. Keep it wet. Thank you.
Your favorite.
It's true. Anyway, in the same vein, where do I start? Okay. So there's been a lot of people talking about what I would call top tier artists or very successful mainstream artists doing this scheme thing where they say like tag a dope artist. God, Cherry, God.
Do you know why I'm pausing you? Is because I want to read a thread, yeah?
Go for
that
it.
Somebody alerted me to on Twitter.
Oh, I think I've seen this. Go for it, Cherry.
Yeah, so just listen to this, yeah? That's what
I'll put it on the screen as well.
Yeah. Over the past few months, a company named The Block 365 has been working with several notable rap artists, including Fat Joe, Benny the Butcher, Jadakiss, and Dave East, among others, offering indie rappers mixtape placements for between $500 and $650 per slot. These notable rap artists will post to social media, asking their followers to tag artists who they should be on the look for. Below, you'll see Fat Joe asking his fans to tag an artist who spits crack. Well played, Joe. Armed with these social media handles, the company, The Block 365, then begins DMing artists from the notable rappers' accounts. The messaging is typical motivational BS. Ready to push your music? Ready to invest in your career? Hard work pays off, let's get you on. Of course, the artists on the receiving end of these DMs cannot believe artists like Fat Joe, Jadakiss, Benny the Butcher, etc. are reaching out to them about a mixtape placement. Here are some of their public reactions. Obviously, you post that. On June the 20th, which was 2020, The Block 365 posted Rap Behind Bars Volume 7, presented by Benny the Butcher to their SoundCloud and other small sites.
Wicked.
There are 37 tracks on the tape. The highest play count is 1,414.
Wicked.
If you remove that out, Leah, the average play count is 60. Have I said that right?
Yeah.
Obviously, spending $650 to generate plays isn't a wise investment.
650.
Artists could justify the expense as a public cosign, but there's little in the way of actual marketing value. Benny hasn't tweeted the project link and only posted once to IG. There's no link in his bio. I've sent numerous messages.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
I've sent numerous messages to dblock365 on social media, asking them to explain what exactly they are offering these artists in exchange for $500 to $650 in placement costs. To date, they have not replied to my inquiry.
Of course not.
Technically, the Block 365 business model isn't a total scam. These young artists are paying for mixtape placements and they are receiving mixtape placements. They just hold zero value.
Yeah.
Companies like The Block 365, who prey on young artists, are dime a dozen. But the morally bankrupt action of these notable artist participants, who we include, are aware their name and likeness and social media are being used to solicit money for placements, is disappointment. It goes on, but you get the gist.
I'll put the link in and I'll put it on the screen when you're reading it through, so people can see.
Now, I don't even know if I should say these names, yeah?
I'm gonna talk my truth on it, Cherry. So feel free.
You go ahead then.
Okay. I'm gonna break down the first part of it. So 650, yeah.
Ain't getting comfortable.
If you man can see, that's $24,000 that people are, whoever is in the scheme, they're getting out of it, right? So there's so many layers to this. And the part at the end where you said, you know what, whoever's running the business model, they're not scamming people because they're saying exactly, you're getting exactly what they're saying they're gonna do, right? The wickedness comes from those artists that are allowing them to do this for them, because they know they've been there. They've been in a situation where we've been struggling. No, I'm not struggling. Man's doing all right. But we're independent artists trying to get to exactly where they are. They've been here. They know what it's like when you're paying for everything. They know what it's like when you're in studios, what o'clock, trying to do whatever. They know it's like when you release a tune and you got 100 plays, fam, for something you put your heart out into. Do you know what I mean? Hours, tears, sweat, broken relationships. Like there's so much that the cost of being an artist, yeah, is so high. And then they play this like thing on us, like who are at the lowest, just because COVID has licked, man, and you can't tour like you used to, or you're not getting bread like you used to. So how do you think where are we then? If you are struggling,
where's our 500 coming from?
Bro, so, and everyone knows this, yeah? And if this sheds me now, then whatever. I am a massive Tank fanatic. Like, when I was 17 or 16 years old and that first Tank album came out, I literally, it was like a mirror to me. It was like, oh my God, everything I'm hearing in my head, that dude is doing in terms of vocals and his pen. And I'm like, that is my blueprint now, because that's exactly what I'm trying to articulate, but I've never been able to do it. And so I've modeled myself in some degree. I've had other influences on Tank's sound for years, yeah, till now. Like when people hear me, they're like, wait, is that Tank? Sometimes I'll play songs and people are like, wait, is that Tank? And it's just me, right? So for years, like I idolized Tank. For years, I've been trying to get in his peripherals. Do you know what I mean? Like DMs and blah 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 and blah blah blah, and do you know what I mean? Trying to draw him out and trying whatever, because I literally idolize that guy. Not anymore. So
not anymore.
Not anymore. Last year,
shit.
I don't know if it was September or August. So it's happening where people are doing that stupid thing, or tag a great artist. He's put up a few of them posts. And obviously my followers, people like my core fans who know actually that's Rick's like sound, will just put me in front of him like, oh, you should check out Ricardo Adams, you're very similar, blah, blah, blah. So a lot of that happened. And for me, it's like whatever, because I never expect anything off the back of that. Because my man has never responded to any of my DMs, tweets. It will be left seen. So I'm like, you know what? I'm never going to reach Tank in that way. Maybe it's going to be like an internal hook. Anyway, so I'm sat at home on my sofa, chilling. Notification on my Instagram. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm quite active on Instagram, so I'm not expecting some sort of bounce. I've opened it up, and it's Tank. For 10 minutes, I can't talk, fam, because Tank's just DM'd me, and I haven't instigated anything. I haven't tagged him in anything. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, this is a real message from Tank. So Tank says, hey, I'm gonna show you the messages then. I'm gonna show you them, because this is wickedness. And I would love to work with him, but it's never gonna happen now. Actually, I don't even want to work with him anymore. I don't, because this is wickedness.
Don't blame you.
This is your character. Listen. So all right. And I don't even care how much I'm gonna bet on myself, how hungry I look. So these are all my messages to Tank, yeah? Like if I'm tagging him, I'm just saying, you know what, you've been such a blessing to me. Sometimes I'm not even trying to get in his peripheral like that. I'm just saying, bro, you know what, you've inspired me a certain way, yeah? So I'm sending him messages. You probably can't see it, but loads and loads and loads and loads and loads, yeah? So then I'm sat at home, and all of a sudden, his first message to me is, I like your song Between Us with two.
So that's lash. That's a lash. That's just
so
lash.
I'm sat there like I can't. I'm not even gonna lie.
Because if Brandy, Whitney Houston, God rest her soul,
oh my gosh,
see what I'm saying?
That I would lose my whole rag. Yeah. So go ahead.
Like I'm sat there, and honestly, you can ask anyone that knows me in this house. Ask Michelle. I was speechless for about 10 minutes. I didn't know what to reply. I didn't know how to feel. I was like, Tank has just messaged me out of the blue, telling me how much he likes Between Us, right? So then, like, I don't know, 30 minutes later, I plucked up the courage to say, I did shock face, shock face. I haven't got the words. Thank you so much. You literally are my blueprint. I wanted to say more, but I didn't want to bread him too much. I was like, all right, Rick, just play it cool. Yeah. Just play it cool. So then replied later on, obviously they're doing like American time and said, that's love. So I'm thinking, okay, this might be a genuine conversation. In no way, shape, or form have I twigged yet that people have tagged me on his post, and now this is the scam, right? So then the next message he hits me with is me and my people are putting together a series of tapes. Let's get you on it, and then let's talk about bigger business that makes sense for you. So prior to this, I had already heard like this happening to a few people. DT Soul said to me, Tank reached out to him on the same vibe, right? Yeah, I'm talking the things today. So when I seen that now, I was like, oh, don't tell me this is the route we're going down. So I want to play, I'm playing along because I want to find out, like, is this real or is this a scam? Like, are you gonna ask me now for $600 to be on a mixtape? So I said it would be an honor, ready to go when you are. Let's talk. Yeah. So I'm trying to like just get the information. The man's hit me with, let's get to work. It's 500 a slot. Let's lock it in, and then I'm down to talk bigger, better moves. So, okay. So now I know where you are, sir.
Hustle.
Now I know where you are. So I've hit him back with, hey, bro, so this mixtape, can I get some more information about it? When is it likely to come out? Will you be on it? Is this a compilation type project? Will be there any marketing involved? What kind of agreements would you be looking to get me to sign?
Yes,
what's the five? What's
yes,
the five?
Ricardo.
Yeah. Now you want to talk. Now you okay? What's the 500 for? What happens if the tape doesn't get released? Can I keep the song? So in my head, I thought, all right, he's saying maybe we could be on a song together. And I've paid for features before. So if you're saying to me it's 500 for a feature, I'm gonna pay 500 to get a feature with Tank. I don't care. If I walk away with a song with Tank and it costs me £500, I'm gonna take the song. I don't care. So I want to find out the information. He hasn't hit me back at all. Yeah. Like couple days. And then he's come back with the tape will highlight 35 dope up and coming artists that I pick. It will be streamed on SoundCloud, the Piff, top mixtapes, and some blogs. I'll be posting it on my IG stories. The tape will be dropping the week of October 13th. I'm presenting and promotion. I am presenting and promotion the tape. Not even grammatically correct. If you pay to secure your slot, you'll be on the tape. I didn't reply. And I was done. The one of my biggest legends in like a space of half an hour just chop out. I just can't believe the audacity of some of these artists. Like I get it. I understand that we're struggling, we're all struggling, but don't do it to the people that support you the most. The disregard for like some of the fans, it's mad to me. It says a lot about people's character.
Advocate, yeah. If you're gonna do it, yeah, because really and truly, this is clearly how a lot of people operate. If you're gonna do it, let there be an equal exchange.
This is what I'm saying, Cherry, because like I was saying, I would pay 500. I would pay $5 grand, right, to get a feature with Tank.
promo. That's like, instead of you paying a promo, paying for a promo PR, sorry. Instead of
This is what I'm saying.
Give the money to the artist, you jump on the song together. Who posts it? That's a cosign. You're paying for a cosign, but you're not even giving me that.
You're not putting the link in your bio. You're barely doing stories, like, and you're throwing it up on SoundCloud, fam. Like, you're
not even a legit thing that's gonna add to your.
You're taking a piss.
Nothing. It's literally
37 other songs on the thing. You're
poor
taking
man's
the piss.
But it didn't come out, did it?
Huh?
Didn't come out, did it?
It did. And there's some UK dons that were on it. And I've said a thing. Yeah. And so when I seen it, I'm like, I know you man paid whatever you paid, because my man was hitting me the 500. So you paid about £500 to get on the thing, and you're gassing it like you're on a project promoted by a Tank. And this is all the things that happen in front of my eyes daily that I have to keep quiet about, because there's two levels about it. Don't lie about Tanks promoting your things when you paid £500 to be on it.
Yeah.
And then from an artist's point of view, from a Tank's point of view, like, you're ripping people off, because you can go to it now, Cherry, on SoundCloud, and there's about 1,000 plays, and there's literally like 20 odd songs on that mixtape.
He didn't promote it. They don't promote. That's the thing. They don't promote it.
Do you know I could do with 500 in promo would get me more than 60 plays if I put 500 in promo. I'm looking at 10K. Do you know what I mean? If I'm putting that amount in.
So the whole project is 1,000 plays.
Whole project.
Oh my day.
It's a scam. And them man are walking away with £24,000 at minimum, or dollars, however you slice it.
The thing is that Tank hit me as well. And also, I was so surprised by this, but when I got a message from Neyo, less than a week ago, because I think I hit you guys a few days ago about it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I just thought to myself, wow, like, because obviously how we view Neyo, and it's funny because there's another artist that I spoke to, because I posted what August said about the whole
12th. Yeah.
And some artist hit me about it, and there's an artist that, like, we all know, that hit me and said Neyo hit her as well. And when she started asking questions and they started talking about budget, she just stopped replying because she just knew.
Yeah.
And then spoke to her people about it, and it was just like, if you really think about it, we view Neyo a certain way, but he hasn't had like a substantial hit since 2012. So really and truly, what we're going off of, we're thinking about a success level a certain way. So we're thinking, oh no, he's been hacked. He doesn't need this. But not a lot of people are exempt from needing the extra cash injection, clearly. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing it. And it's easy to say that, oh, it could be a hack if it was like a DM thing and like nothing was going on the main timeline. But these men are posting videos. Like Neyo posted and said, oh, if you know anyone that was serious about their music, hit me, blah, 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 blah. And then obviously your friends or people that you know is tagging you because they want to see you
win.
So people's tagging me like, oh my God, you can do a tune with Neyo, like blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, I didn't want to break everyone's heart, but you might not even know.
Right.
You're recommending me for some scam. I know it's at the goodness of your heart, because you want to see me do something else or whatever on a higher level, but it's not even genuine. And I'm just so glad, for you as well, Ricardo, I'm so glad that we are not in that vulnerable space, because if this was 10 years ago. Or even 5 years ago, if it was
Cherry, you're right. You're right.
Broken me.
Yeah.
That would
same.
Really, I would have paid the money.
Same.
Have somebody paid the money or whatever, and then to see it not flourish or develop into what it was developed. If it's something that I admire, that would lash me. That would lash.
Same.
And that's horrible. And obviously, I know the business is horrible, but it's just horrible.
You know what?
That they are fronting that.
what you said, Cherry, and I'm not even going to lie, it did break me. It did.
Yeah, of course, because
that
that's
is my idol.
Yeah.
Like when certain man idolize Michael or Asher or Whitney or whoever, that
that's what I said. That would be Brandy or Faith.
That's God. That's God to me. Do you see what I mean? Not obviously it's not God. God is God.
Oh gosh.
God is God.
Oh Lord in heaven. You must repent.
Right. But you know what I mean? So when I saw that, I was like, I'm crushed now because I'm like, I've been trying just for you to see me. Do you know what I mean? Because you literally like Tank. Michelle, my wife walked down the aisle to a Tank tune. No, actually to my tune. The bridal party walked down to a Tank tune. You know what I mean? There's points in my life where Tank tunes have been pivotal, like major breakups or major moments. So he's that guy for me. You see what I mean? And then to get that, I was broken as an artist.
Listen to me, yeah. See how my brain works, yeah. I would have taken that first message and just acted like the rest didn't even exist, and I would have made that sound come across like a legit cosign. If Usher hit me and said,
Jermaine, I did.
Why, and you screenshotted the thing and said, bam.
I did.
Yeah,
and then 2 days later, I realized
it's coming with the bullshit. Yeah. It's mad.
Maybe I should take the Neyo screenshot and be like, yeah, Neyo was working. Wait. Leo was working me, but I said no.
Yes.
Fuck's sake.
That's an absolute clapback.
Do you know what it is? It's the whole thing. What I love about it is that it's a direct reflection of the fact that there is no value in music nowadays.
100%.
Like, it's a full-on reflection of where the music industry is at, where someone who has major hits, Billboard smashes, blah, blah, the publishing is not paying for their mortgage of their thing, yeah? So it's absolutely mad that streaming has shagged us to the point where these platinum Grammy Award nominated winning people are hitting, like, you know, peasants in comparison to try and you know what I mean. On the success scale, like these people have, like, take Neyo for example, like you have a Beyonce song and a Rihanna song, and they're arguably the two most famous songs for both artists.
So why do you need money?
To the left, and take a bow and all them thing there. That's your publishing, bro. And you've got your own multi-platinum, blah, blah, blah hits. I've worked with Neyo. Like, I've seen the Grammy in the cabinet and all these types of things. Like, I've seen the whole infrastructure of his thing. Like, at a time 10 years ago, money was kicking off. Them lot was paying for us to stay in the condo, for us studio sessions, blah, blah. Like, there was an influx of money going through that thing. So for you now, especially after like a versus with Jonte Austin, and you're reeling off your hits,
right.
For you now to obviously be here months later, DMing people, scamming fans of you, essentially, it's a bit wild. Like, and yeah, it's just, for me, it lets people know, guys. It lets people know that this music industry thing, if your whole thing is based on just music, you are shagged.
Facts.
These are people hitting people in their DMs who have no other hustle.
Facts.
So it's like all of them eggs in a one basket.
Right, and the basket match up.
So like, hold on. What am I gonna do since I've got 2 billion streams and it's £10? How is that gonna work? Like, how am I gonna pay for this car, for this video that I want to shoot? Label saying my thing ain't kicked off since 2012. They've cut the budget. What am I gonna do? Like 360 deals up the yin yang. Like, yo, this industry thing is fucked, bro.
It is.
So
and
it's absolutely a direct reflection of where the industry at. And if you don't have multiple hustles, different things of income coming in or whatever, if you haven't diversified your portfolio at this point, listen, try to do, like, man, that's what I said. I'm doing a comic book. I'm doing all the things. I'm using every last gift. Do you get me? Like, every last gift. In fact, if my hands look good one week, I might become a hand model. You get me? Like, I have to do everything because this music thing is full on. It's a smidgen of my existence at this point because it's not sustaining me. At a time, there was a time, like you said, Cherry, 5-10 years ago, there was a time when just doing music was enough to sustain us every day. Like that motivational, I've written a song today, it's so inspirational. And like, imagine, bro, I look back at my catalog and I think to myself, who told you to do all those songs? No one told me to wake up every morning and just ride my plumber clock off.
Shared joy. It was shared.
Sheer joy.
Grew up looking at people who done that and were very successful. That is the thing. And that was what you had to do. That is what you've done because you had to wake up, eat, sleep, and breathe music. And that was the way that you would kick off a door. That can't
happen anymore. That's it.
It's so scary, man. It's scary because it's not like that music thing has died in any of us, right? But it's like having a pitney and saying, nah, go sit down. You get me? Like, it's like
basically
do you get me? It's like that child that wants the attention. Like, I hear things all the time, even if it's from old stuff, get inspired, and it's like something tells me, oh, I want to do a song like this. And then ultimately that gets stamped out by the reality of, but what is that gonna do other than please your personal, like, obviously I'm not I
hear you, man.
I'm not negating the fact that a song can literally change someone's life when they hear it and inspire a whole generation of people if the right person hears it and blah blah. But in the grand scheme of things right now in this pandemic, it's like it does not compute because that's a lot of time, due diligence, energy, whatever you want to call it, emotional offload for you to get 60 things on a glorified Chris Brown album that no one cares about.
So this is where I'm with it, and this
37 songs.
This is where I'm with it, like a moment of transparency. You see, after all of that, for me, my head was like, you know what? You see this music thing, I'm not on it like that anymore. Like, I'm not on it to, like you said, Jermaine, I'm not on it to sustain me. I'm not on it to pay my bills. I'm just going to do what I'm good at outside of music, get paid well for that. And when I have an inkling to say something or to write a song, then I'm going to put it out as a labor of love and a piece of myself for the world that I can leave behind. And that's it. I don't want anything more. Because
you spare yourself so much ag by just approaching music like it is, like you just open up your canvas one day and you decide to paint something. And if you approach it like that, without, like Cherry said on the last thing, like the expectation is not there, it is blissful,
Right.
regardless of how many streams or whatever. Like, it feels so good to have that artistic expression. But if you, Masa, try and make it 100% your thing,
Because
and
now
try and feed your children off of it, no,
forget it. Because now the
no.
example is, actually, I'm going to do all of this. I'm going to kill out myself for years, only to be trying to rinse people down at the bottom when I get to the top of my career. So that's what I've got to look forward to.
Do you know what? Yeah,
Nah.
it reminds me, and Cherry knows what I'm talking about. It reminds me of what Psycho used to do to certain artists.
Yeah.
What Psycho used to do to certain artists, they used to obviously like reach out to legit people who's doing bits or whatever, who like certified certi singer-songwriters, reach out to them like they're gonna give them all the give them the opportunity of a lifetime. And then the very second you leave the office, before you even get back on the tube, they're telling you about, so we want to try you out for the X Factor. Fuck off. That's basically what that reminds me of. Like, you feed me, you give me that bone, you make me feel like, oh my gosh, this is answering the prayers. Just like you got the message from Tank and you're like, oh my gosh, all my prayers and my hard work is now paying off. Like, these are people's hopes and dreams that you're dealing with, And full transparency, when that type of situation happened to me with the fake label try out for the X Factor bollocks happened, I had to call the woman back and cuss her out.
That's right. That's right.
I had to be like, listen, you need to run your thing different, because you can't be. I felt to do it. I felt to do an Ice Cube and just go back down to the team,
right,
and mash up the office.
Mash up the place, right.
You're dealing with people's hopes and dreams,
bro. And chatting as he's mashing up the place, silly.
Listen, yeah. At the end of if you guys, don't call me for nothing no more, yeah.
Oh my god.
This black as well. Yeah? Drop that, bruv.
And give me back my travel money as well.
Give me back my money, yeah. Call head office, call H.E.R, whoever the fuck. Mashing up the office. Every plaque.
Oh my life. They people are wickedness,
Wicked.
Where's Simon Cowell?
Oh no, listen.
The way
on that note,
woman, like, oh my god, she was absolutely chameleon. She was horrid. I would never forget that. And the way she was like, we're gonna, like, man, we want to sign you guys. We're gonna have to do a label showcase. We're gonna have you guys come in. Like, I love the new EP. Like, you guys are just amazing. And
she asked us about solo aspirations. She said, what are you guys going to do after this as a separate solo artist? Asked us about our separate journeys.
Oh, God.
These times the EP's out, bro. We've shot all the videos and everything. So she knows where the bar is, bro. These like 106 and Park and all that stuff has happened. I think Brandy, Gabrielle, all of that has happened already, bro.
Yeah.
So we're moving.
Nah. I just think to myself, and you guys must think the same thing sometimes. Like, when I think about all the things that I've gone through, I think to myself, sometimes I have to look at myself and be like, you're a G, you know?
Fucking soldier.
Right.
You're standing here.
Standing. Right.
How have you survived?
It's coming out next month. You're actually a no limit soldier.
Yeah.
We have to give ourselves some type of.
We need to. Oh, we'll just go mad.
Because you know what the thing is, some people don't make it. You know, they actually don't make it. They lose their. Do you know how many people that I started this journey with, and YouTube will probably vouch the same, that you see them now and they're like, oh, I walked away from that a long time ago.
Yeah.
And more power to them, because for your own, you know, everyone knows how much they can bear, innit?
Right.
And no judgment to anybody that can't sustain or feels like they can't sustain or they don't want it anymore, don't want to deal with it anymore. But it just makes you put a lot of things into perspective, man. It's crazy.
Some people literally get a whiff.
Yeah.
Get a whiff. One video. And they're like, nah, I'm out.
It's true.
First single. Like first single, trying to see how it happens. And then look at what they've got to show for it. And you're like, what?
Is this right?
Is this what you guys been doing for years?
Yeah.
I'm going back to fucking
how do you
CrossFit, mate.
This is what I'm saying.
Oh God.
Yeah, man. Yeah, big up on yourself. H.E.R, big up yourself, man.
Big up on yourself.
For real. Listen.
Art.
Listen, I think we should just end it here, you know, because yeah, man. We talked the things today. Let's just do that. Let's just do anything that we've seen, read, listened to this week, even if it's stuff that isn't new. I've got one. I'll start. So I'll go on, Cherry, if you got no. Okay, cool. I've got one. I'm not sure I've done it before, but there's an artist in Birmingham called Faliba, and she's done a song with an artist that I'm very familiar with, good friends with, called Maddie Saskia. They got a song called Until. It's doing bits, kind of like a nice chilled R&B. Yeah, man, it's really nice. A lot of Londoners don't really give, you know, I mean, people outside of London the credit and whatever, but it's a big tune. So yeah, Faliba featuring Maddie Saskia. Song's called Until.
Faliba, what are you on? Spotify or Apple or what?
She's on everything, yeah, everything. What do I listen to? Spotify.
Send me the link.
Yeah, I'll do that, man.
I'm loving there's a good few songs on Chip's new project that I like.
Oh,
yeah.
Not yet.
You haven't listened to it yet?
Not yet, but I'm going to.
I love there's one song called Fire on there that's sick. I think it's I don't know, I can't remember the producer, but I love Party I Keep with him, Stylo, and Hailey from West.
Shout out to Dreddy.
That sounds like it's mad already.
That tune. I was into it, but I was in my house like, whoa.
Hey, shoulders.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm loving that project at the moment. Yeah.
Jay?
Yeah, I was gonna say the Chip album. I haven't really taken in any anything new. I'm not gonna lie. I've just been, like I said, because I'm doing a comic book, I've just been intaking so many like superhero movies, and I started the whole Marvel thing from the beginning on Disney Plus. Like,
same.
I think, yeah, I'm around the Black Panther point at this point. So yeah, I've just been taking in bare things, been watching bare stuff on YouTube, documentaries, and trying to keep that. I haven't been on music really, and it's so hilarious because I literally had a phone call with my manager talking about, yeah, ready to dive back in. I ain't done nothing to do with music. Just because, you know, there's so much other things, like I said, going on, and but a lot of podcasts and watching old classics, and you know, what did I watch the other night? There's a film. There's a film called The Invitation, yeah, on Netflix.
seen that.
Is it a horror?
Kind of horror thriller vibe. It's not really horror. It's just very creepy. But bro, if you want to shout at your television and there's one black person in the whole thing, yeah, and you just think to yourself, babe, be black right now, leave. You know, like it's just one of them things. You want them to have that DNA. You want that DNA to just kick in and be like, no, hit him again. You get me? Like, it's a lot. It's a lot because it's a great example of peer pressure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And knowing when to leave a situation when it's not right for you.
Right.
And it will frustrate you watching that movie, but it's an amazing watch. Like, it was just a random suggestion. My partner just suggested it. And it was like, when I haven't heard no hype about a movie, I'm always like, oh my gosh, it's going to be one of them dead flipping Blair Witch Project budget like movies that this random rinky-dink American studios made, and it's going to be the regular old trapped in a forest, and you get me, like, just bait, right? But it was sick. It was absolutely sick and gripping, and you just want to know. It keeps you like watching, and you're wondering, like, it's so weird, but you don't want to turn it off. Like, watch The Invitation on Netflix. It's a really good movie.
All right.
That's the last thing that's the only thing I've really taken in that's made me be like, rah, I need to recommend that.
I might watch it tonight, I might watch it tonight.
Yeah, bro. Watch it with Michelle.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So you know what? This is probably gonna be the next one. I might not be here because baby's ready to land any day now.
Wow.
So, yeah, man. Hopefully the next podcast I can share that she's arrived. But yeah, man.
Oh, it's a girl.
It's a girl, man. It's a girl.
So have you got a girl already?
Yeah, it's two. That's 2 weddings I'm gonna have to pay for.
2 weddings you have to pay for,
It's mad when you think about it like that.
That's what it is. We're looking at like what, 30 grand? That's 60 grand, fam. So yeah, just know that I'll be working now for the rest of my life. But
oh my gosh.
Jokes aside, it's been another great episode with myself, Ricardo Williams, Jermaine Riley, Cherry V. This is the Middle Eight Podcast. There is pure episodes. Go and check them out. Like, follow, subscribe. We're on Instagram, Middle Eight Pod, Twitter, Middle Eight Pod. Join the conversation. We might even find ourselves on Clubhouse chatting about some of the things we did. So yeah, man. Another episode.
Bye, 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 bye.